Guys, we have to talk about equality.
Hey, dude, don't go away, man. Come on, this affects all of us, man. Our basic freedoms.
He's right. Our basic freedoms are under attack. Don't believe me? Ask your grandpa how many hours a week he had to work to have a house, a nice car, send the kids to college, take vacations. How many hours did grandma work? Yeah. What happened? Well, while we were distracted, they robbed us.
Those rich fucks. This whole fucking thing. I did not watch my buddies die face down in the muck so that this fucking strumpet, this fucking whore, could waltz around
Vietnam, man.
Well, there isn't a literal connection,
Walter, face it, there isn't any connection.
I think there might be a connection to Vietnam. Let's go back to the 70s. But first, a question. If people are happy, what can you sell them?
What the hell happened that money became everything? What happened? Because it was not in the 70s. In the 70s, it's how cool is your job? How cool is it what you're doing? If your job's cooler than my job, you beat me. And
no one said, how much are you making?
In the 70s, people like the dude were trying to stop the war in Vietnam. And all that peace and love they were pushing for, that's bad for business. The rich and powerful were losing the culture war, so they started a class war. And it looks like they're winning. In 1971, Joy to the World by Three Dog Night was #1 on the charts. Shows like All in the Family, The Flip Wilson Show, The Mary Tyler Moore Show, and Laugh-In were on television. Daniel Ellsberg leaked the Pentagon Papers, proving what most people had been watching on TV, that Vietnam was unwinnable, and that they had been lying to us about it for years. In my last video, I talked about how dangerous insecurity can be for a person. What would it do to the most powerful nation in the world that was losing a war to a poor farming country? America was facing a crisis of confidence.
That's why Americans have never lost and will never lose a war. Because the very thought of losing is hateful to Americans.
The status quo was being questioned everywhere by women, minorities, gays, the anti-war groups like the Seattle 7.
That was me. And 6 other guys.
The establishment does not like being challenged, especially when it's wrong. Rather than do the right thing and give people the equality they were owed, some people fought back, seeing an opportunity to use this division to get more money and power. The head of the National Chamber of Commerce saw where the country was heading, and he was worried. In the year before, over 200,000 U.S. postal workers had gone on strike and earned the right to unionize. Congress formed OSHA and the EPA, and business owners protested the new regulations for, safer workplace and cleaner environment. Who is the Chamber of Commerce? Nobody knows. Their membership is secret, but they are the largest lobbying group in the country. In 2023 alone, they spent $70 million on lobbying, usually against things like worker protections, environmental regulations, consumer rights, voting rights, health care access, and corporate taxes. Now, what could business owners do to stop all this talk of peace, love, equality, and rights and get people working and shopping again? They needed to take their power back, and Powell came up with a plan. Corporate control of the media, culture, universities, and government. It was a call to arms for business leaders and the wealthy to reclaim American values. And what were these values? Let's look to Milton Friedman. In a 1970 New York Times op-ed, he said that corporate executives should serve shareholders alone, not society, workers, or the environment. There is one and only one social responsibility of business, to use its resources and engage in activities designed to increase its profits. 12 years later, their plan was already working.
Hey, listen to you guys. I mean, doesn't anyone want to accomplish anything, or do we just want to make money?
Make money.
Just make money.
Yeah. Make a lot of money.
What about you, Joel?
Serve my fellow mankind.
Oh,
thank you for that. Good. Get out of here.
People forget that Rocky loses in the original. In Rambo, he was a humble, wounded Vietnam veteran run out of town by the cops. By the 80s, Rocky defeated the Russians, Rambo won Vietnam, and the director of Rocky made The Karate Kid, where Daniel San wins. In less than 30 years, we went from this to this.
Greed, for lack of a better word, is good.
To this.
Your revolution is over, Mr. Lebowski. Condolences. The bum's lost. My advice to you is to do what your parents did. Get a job, sir.
It wasn't some grand conspiracy. It was a plan. And it worked. Take Citizens United and the Heritage Foundation. Founded in 1973 and backed by the Chamber of Commerce, the Heritage Foundation helped shape Reagan's policies and Trump's. Tax cuts for the rich, weaker labor laws, environmental rollbacks, and now they're fueling culture war attacks. Anytime you hear someone squawking about CRT, DEI, or Marxist whatever in schools, there's a good chance it traces back to them. They're also behind Project 2025, the plan to dismantle what's left of our rights. And Citizens United, you've probably heard of the Supreme Court case that said money equals speech, and that rich people can scream as loud as they want. Most people agree it's wrong.
Overturn this disastrous Supreme Court decision called Citizens United.
Did you know that Citizens United started as a production company? I didn't. They're known for such classics as Hillary the movie. When they tried to air Hillary the movie during an election, they got blocked. So they sued. And guess who filed a brief to support them? The Chamber of Commerce. You can find many examples of the influence business has had on our world.
Look for the person who will benefit, and I am the walrus. You know what I'm trying to say.
I am the walrus.
In the 70s, CEOs made about 40 times what their employees did. Today, it's about 400 times, and they pay a lower tax rate. And the top 1%, I couldn't afford that many beans. As for Lewis Powell, he got a seat on the Supreme Court 5 months later. So, was it a plot or a plan that worked? If people are happy, what can you sell them? Not much. But if they're angry or afraid of their neighbors, they'll buy almost anything. Americans are still fighting for equality today. And some people are denying it to them or stoking the division, seeing an opportunity for power and money. So if equality was a side of fries, would you get yours? You might, but the portions are going to be a lot smaller. But it doesn't have to be that way. We can stick together and turn it around, just like they did in the 70s. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments. Am I onto something or am I crazy? Please like and subscribe. I'm George Hobbs. Thanks for watching.